What's happening, everybody? It's John here from Job Hat Fitness and Acceleration Fitness, and I'm coming at you guys with another one of these whiteboard videos. And today I want to talk about kind of the nutrition side of things and just overall wellness, but the differences between lifestyle change programs and maybe a cookie cutter meal plan. So that being a cookie cutter meal plan, I define as something a coach gives you that says exactly what you're going to eat at lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner. All your snacks are already pre-planned out to fit your macros. Like everything is planned out by the coach, and he or she just hands you a sheet of paper, and you go to the grocery store, buy those exact things. That's all you eat for however long your program is. Now, a lifestyle change is a whole different approach. This is an approach we use here at Acceleration and with our clients and with my own clients. And it is kind of an overall health and wellness approach that's aimed at teaching the client how to eat right, to eat healthy, to eat clean, and teach them so they can do this long term. I want my clients to be able to do this and reproduce the results 30 years down the road. I want them to be able to teach their kids, their sister, their brother, their friends how to do this. Because ultimately that's what it's about, guys, getting more people healthy into a healthy lifestyle. So I'm going to kind of go over the pros and cons of both and kind of offer my own experiences and just thoughts on it. So we start with the lifestyle change here. Again, overall wellness. So now what that means is we're going to look at things like obviously your nutrition, what you're eating. We're going to look at your sleep, how much you sleep, the quality of sleep, all that stuff. The stress levels in your life. So stress can play a major role on weight loss, on weight gain, body fat dropping, stuff like that, and just overall recovery from workouts, from any other stressors in your life. Because if your recovery is very, very poor, you're not going to be able to put in the same amount of work and really get the same results as someone who has good recovery practices, who gets a little bit more sleep. Their sleep quality is a little bit higher, and they practice things that kind of help lower stress levels, lower hormones that are related to that, and can kind of promote weight loss and putting on lean muscle mass and whatnot. So those are the kind of four aspects that we look at for the lifestyle change and overall wellness approach. So when someone sits down with me, we go over all this. It's not just here's a meal plan, explain how to make the things. Like, it's all of this, okay? So with that comes teaching. So I want to teach my client exactly, why. Well, not exactly. They're not going to go get a 4-year degree in it, but I want to teach them why they're doing what they're doing and what to look for with food labels, with foods, what to look out for, some of the kind of tricky things within nutrition, and teach them how to do that long term. I want them to know so well that they can teach their kids, that they can teach, their brothers, their sisters, their friends, their cousins, aunts, uncles, their mom, dad, whatever. I want them to be able to pass it on. So I want to teach them, what you're looking for with protein, with carbohydrates, with fats, fiber, sugar, processed sugars, stuff like that, and sodium, and all of those things that are taken into account on the meal plans, but never really explained. So obviously this is a long process, and I want to work with that person over a long time to kind of build that knowledge up and help them understand why they're doing it. And I want them to be an experience that they can take from, but they're still getting results along the way, obviously. But it's not just okay, when's my next meal plan? Can I have my next meal plan? That's not what I want. So this is a long-term solution to a weight problem or a body fat problem or body composition, anything like that. So with that, I want to teach them the why, right? So why, kind of what I said, why they're doing what they're doing, why we need to have adequate protein intake, why we need to watch the carbohydrates, why we need to watch the processed sugars, why we need to have the fiber a little bit higher. And you don't have to go, it doesn't have to be a physiology or nutrition lesson like that you would get in a college course or any course like that or seminar, but it still should be, this is what we're looking for in kind of to help with recovery for the protein, or why we don't want to go overboard with those processed sugars, stuff like that. So that is kind of the lifestyle change approach. Then on this side of things, The cookie cutter approach is, like I said, a sheet. This is exactly what you're going to eat: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks for the next 6, 8, 12 weeks. Now, it works. It's easy, right? So you look at the sheet, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. But from a long-term approach, it doesn't work. Okay? It's not sustainable long-term, because at some point you're gonna get tired of those same things, those same meals, right? You're gonna get tired to sticking to this exact thing, and what can happen is you can kind of fall off because maybe you want to make a change with something, but then you don't have the knowledge base, you don't have the experience of, this side of things to kind of draw from and ultimately, make the right decision. You might not know what to replace it with or stuff like that. So that kind of hinders the process a little bit if you're looking at this as a long-term solution, which it's not, in my opinion. And then if you're only doing, say, an 8-week meal plan, what do I eat afterwards, right? So yeah, I did that. Maybe I followed it to a T. I lost a lot of weight. My body fat went down and made a positive change, but now where do I go from there, right? If you don't have that, what do I do from there? And variety, you kind of touched on that. What happens when you get tired of something? You get tired of eggs in the morning. So what do I eat instead? And hopefully the coach that gave this to you also kind of, incorporated this lifestyle change aspect as well. But, sometimes when, especially with online, training and Instagram fitness people that sell these meal plans, there isn't that. So you don't know. And with that, kind of saying that, it's really easy for the coach to do this, right? I can sit down and, take a morning and write out an 8-week meal plan exactly and calculate it out. And then I can redistribute that very easily to, however many clients want to buy it. But for me as a coach, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to just give someone, just hand out meal plans for $40 a pop and then just never talk to the person again. Like, I want it to work. I want it to be, something that they can learn from and actually make a positive impact. Now, not saying that there isn't, people have done really well and kind of taken matters in their own hands and learned on their own, but it's a lot easier when you have a coach, telling you and teaching you why we're doing this, what to look for, how much protein you should be going for, how many grams of carbohydrates, what the fat should be like, where I should get sources of whatever macro it is, what to watch for, stuff like that, how to get more fiber, stuff like that. So that's going to ultimately teach the person and just help them long term versus the short term, right? So that kind of is the difference there. And I'm not saying, coaches who do this are wrong by any means. There's a time and place for that, I think, and some people maybe just want that. For example, myself, I know a lot about nutrition and training, but I do other people's training programs when it comes to the actual lifting and exercise. Like, I do other people's programs that way. And if I were to, say, cut down for a bodybuilding show, I would hire a coach, or at least get a meal plan from an experienced bodybuilding coach that can kind of get me on the right track. But at the same time, that's a lot different because this is what I do. This is 24/7. I went to college for this. This is what I work. This is what I do. So it's a lot different than 40-year-old mom who just wants to go from obese to a normal weight and hopefully make some positive changes overall in their health. It's a lot different. So I really think that there needs to be a lot more of this versus this, okay? And that's kind of my coaching philosophy, is this overall lifestyle change and just overall wellness umbrella versus just a nutrition plan like this. Like, I want to talk to the person every day. My private clients that I work with on this stuff, like, they text me or talk to me every single day with their food logs, with their macro reports, like stuff like that, what their challenges for that day. So then I can message them back or email them, talk to them in person, whatever it happens to be, call them and say, hey, this is okay. It's fine. You know, we can learn from this. You know, let's bump this up. Let's move this down. Let's try this. Make sure you get to the gym today. Send them a message. You know, overall, how's your sleep been? You know, are you feeling really beat up lately? Okay, let's change this around. Maybe take a little slower today. And, you know, maybe they've got something going on in their life that's very, very stressful, whether it's work or family. Okay, maybe let's back off a little bit. Make sure we're getting enough sleep, everything like that. So it's overall kind of encompassing everything and teaching that person what to look for. Because after a while, after I say it repeatedly to them every single day, they're going to catch on no matter what. So that's kind of my philosophy on that, guys. So take it for what it is. I like the lifestyle change approach. Again, this can work, but in my opinion, it's not quite as good. And this is what we do with our clients here at Acceleration. This is what I do with my own clients, and I think it is the way to go. So, as always, guys, if you have any questions at all, reach out to me. Email, social media, John Pep Fitness on pretty much everything. J-Pep on Snapchat. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Keep chasing it. Boom!